Dear audience, welcome to this show POWERchat. In today's episode, we will be discussing about the regional agenda of cooperation in South Asia. Joining us today is His Excellency Amjad Hussain B, Sial, Secretary General at South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. Please allow me to welcome him. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
How have you been?
Very fine, thank you.
It's already been 1 year that you are serving as the Secretary General at SAARC, and you also served as Director in 2003 here at the SAARC Secretariat. How do you assess the development process of Nepal since you are based here in Nepal?
First of all, I would like to thank you very much for inviting me to your show. This is always, I feel it very important to have interaction with media so that we can also share our point of view with the media, with the people, not only of Nepal but the world around. This is my second posting to Nepal. First, as you mentioned, I was here from 2003 to 2006 as Director of Pakistan in SAARC Secretariat, and I joined the Secretariat of SAARC from 1st of March 2017. I see a lot of development taking place in Nepal. I am really impressed by the projects that have been undertaken by the government of Nepal. When I came here in 2003, I could see these narrow streets, low level of development, hardly any pitched roads, hardly any industrial development. Even we couldn't get aspirin from Nepal. Now I see this pharmaceutical industries here. I get most of the medicines which we get here are from Nepal. A lot of products are from Nepal, and at the same time Nepal has also I think progressed in terms of economic relations with outside world. Now the wonderful thing that I see is the economic development as well. A huge modern state-of-the-art these shopping malls that have come up, while when I was here in 2003 there was nothing. So roads have developed, roads have been widened, so many these high-rise buildings have come up. So education standards have gone up, human resource development has gone up. So I think Nepal has progressed in all walks of life.
How do you substantiate the presence of SAARC, South Asian Association for the Regional Cooperation?
Well, as you know, SAARC is the manifestation of the willingness of the countries of South Asia to work together in the spirit of friendship and cooperation to promote peace, stability, amity and progress in the region. SAARC brings the countries of the region to a common platform to discuss issues and work out their solutions. In an interdependent world of today, regional cooperation is absolutely necessary to promote the welfare of the peoples of the region, which is the cardinal principle of the Charter of SAARC.
Well, you said that it is a common platform for countries to interact on the regional agenda. Do you think that it has been influential, or it has been productive for countries to interact their problems facing in their particular countries to this platform?
Yes, sure, certainly. SAARC has a very vast area for regional cooperation, say from education, human resource development, energy, infrastructure development, economic relations, education, and there's so many other areas. It's a long list of areas of cooperation, and we have all been working together to promote these areas of cooperation for the welfare and well-being of the people of SAARC.
Could you shed light on the major areas of the cooperation with reference to the role of member countries of the SAARC?
Okay. Well, first of all, I would like to say that SAARC Charter itself is a holistic document that defines the legal framework and main areas of regional cooperation. Besides, SAARC has put in place a number of regional conventions and agreements for promoting cooperation among SAARC member states. Some of them are, for example, food security, terrorism, narcotic drugs, psychotropic substances, SAFTA, South Asian Free Trade Agreement, and Convention for the Protection and Welfare of Women and Children. So these are some of the legal frameworks, legal agreements that help in promoting SAARC cooperation. On the other hand, we have very substantive cooperations like South Asia University. The government of India has given 100 acres of land in New Delhi for the new campus of South Asia University. We are also building a SAARC cultural center on 17 acres of land in Matra in Sri Lanka. We have also decided to establish SAARC Medical University in Sri Lanka. We are going to have soon 9-storied building of SAARC Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Besides, we have 5 SAARC regional centers like Agriculture Center, Tuberculosis HIV/AIDS Center here in Nepal, Kathmandu, SAARC Energy Center in Islamabad, SAARC Cultural Center, and specialized bodies like South Asian SAARC Arbitration Council and SAARC Regional Standards Organizations. So in order to promote people-to-people contacts, we also have SAARC apex bodies, SAARC recognized bodies. Like for example, today we are going to have SAARC Business Leaders Conclave being organized by SAARC Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So in this we have a number of ministers coming. So this is one of our SAARC apex bodies. Like we have SAARC Law comprising chief justices and other important prominent lawyers of SAARC.
What are the agenda during this conclave? Could you tell us? The key agenda.
Yes.
What are you going to discuss?
Main objective of this business conclave, SAARC Business Leaders Conclave, is to promote economic relations among SAARC member states, identify areas and difficulties that we have, try to overcome those, bring people together from all over the world. They are also trying to have a SAARC SCCI business portal which will provide possibility of connecting businessmen of SAARC through this SCCI business portal, because at the moment, you know, we have these difficulties like connectivity. For example, a flight from here to Islamabad will take 1 hour 45 minutes, but even for me personally, it is a nightmare to go to Islamabad.
Well, Your Excellency, I'm coming to that point. You presented very really impressive figures of how South Asian initiatives have been, you know, benefiting to the public of this region, including that of the education, university, medical colleges, different apex bodies here in the region, in different countries. What are the key challenges in connecting people of this region? Could you also tell us the development and connectivity challenges that the region has been facing?
Yes. You know, SAARC, 8 members of SAARC states. We have diverse geography, diverse terrain, different levels of human resource, industrial, agricultural, infrastructure development. Some of our member states are landlocked, mountainous countries. Some of our member states are sea-locked, island countries. But the area is huge. It is, though we are 8 member states, but we have almost one-fourth of humanity living in South Asia. So these are the important factors for connectivity within the region. But I am very happy to share with you that we are earnestly working on having a SAARC motor vehicles agreement, a SAARC railways agreement, a SAARC air services agreement. Very soon I'm happy to inform you that we will have SAARC ferry and cargo service between India and Sri Lanka. Expression of interest has been floated and it will start operating soon, hopefully.
All mean to strengthening connectivity of the countries.
Connectivity.
When can people, see these initiatives materializing?
I am very confident that member states will work together, and in the next summit there are indications, there have been statements from the leadership level that during the 19th SAARC summit, hopefully these agreements are likely to be signed. And one thing, as the Secretary of SAARC, I would like to say that without improved connectivity, it is very difficult to have useful regional integration, economic integration, people-to-people contacts, and tourism. And these are very important areas for any regional cooperation that we can think of.
What concrete things needs to be done to overcome these challenges, especially that of the connectivity in the region?
Yes, this is what I just mentioned, that we have to have air links, road links, rail links, and connection through sea. This ferry service I am talking about, this is the first phase, India and Sri Lanka, and then afterwards it will be connected to Maldives, Pakistan and Bangladesh. So this is the plan that we have and we are working on it.
At the beginning, Your Excellency, you said that you were highly impressed by the development process of Nepal, seeing a lot of infrastructure over here. Could you now tell us what are the common challenges that the SAARC member countries are facing in relation to infrastructure development?
I think one is, as I just mentioned, about terrain and different level of development, landlocked, sea-locked, and also financial constraints. So we have to involve our private sector. We have to work together. We have to work with our international partners. We have to work with our, I would say, SAARC observers. We have, as you know, perhaps we have 9 SAARC observers, including the European Union. So the last summit had decided to have a project-based, result-oriented cooperation with the SAARC observers, and we are working on this to formulate projects and programs to have substantive, meaningful cooperation with our SAARC observers as well. We are also working on operationalization of SAARC Development Fund infrastructure and economic windows. You know, SDF, SAARC Development Fund, has 3 windows. One is social window, infrastructure and economic window. Social window was operational for some time, but now the 2, infrastructure and economic windows, are ready to be utilized, and we have already invited project proposals to be financed through SAARC Development Fund, and that will also help a lot in development of your infrastructure for better connectivity as well.
Okay, let's talk about the progresses that have been, noticed or seen in this region since the establishment of SAARC. Could you tell us the outstanding progresses that have been taken place since the SAARC established?
Well, as I just mentioned, there have been a number of substantive achievements. First of all, if you look at the SAARC, itself is a big achievement. It provides you the legal framework for our cooperation in the region. It provides the framework for efforts geared towards welfare and well-being of the people of SAARC. And then we have a number of legal instruments. I just mentioned a few: conventions, agreements. One of the most important agreement that we have is South Asian Free Trade Agreement, in order to promote economic relations among SAARC member states. We have we also added Afghanistan, the 8th member of SAARC, which provides us connectivity with Central Asia, because Afghanistan is bordering Central and West Asia. So this is also important development. We have had a number of programs like SAARC scholarships and visa scheme, under which we exchange students from one country to another. Recently, for example, even Nepal has offered 2 scholarships to Pakistan. One is for MBBS, one is for international relations. So we are cooperating at all levels. We are cooperating at in the SAARC terrorism monitoring terrorist offences monitoring desk and SAARC drug offences monitoring desk. They both are based in Sri Lanka. We are also cooperating to have common efforts to counter terrorism. We also have one important thing, perhaps you know, this SAARC visa exemption scheme, in order to promote people-to-people contacts and facilitate movement of people. And that is very interesting scheme, that one country can issue visa for 8 countries. So, and also some of our media friends are also entitled to SAARC visa exemption scheme. So these are the, I think, few that I can think of offhand, but there are substantive progresses that has been made, and will continue to move steadily on the promotion of regional cooperation.
Don't you think that the visa scheme should be, you know, exempted for all citizens living in this region for a easy movement and you know, realizing the real essence of the SAARC cooperation?
Well, what should I say? It would be a utopian thinking to have visa-free regime, but that should be the ultimate aim. But whatever we have now at a limited scale, but this is also good that we have, for example, the SCCI, we just spoke about SCCI. SCC, each chapter of SCCI in 8 countries has this at the moment provision of 800 visas for their businessmen. Similarly, SAFMA, South Asian, this is what is a media
association,
something, SAFMA. So they also have a number of this visas. And also, anybody going for any SAARC related business, SAARC meeting, is entitled to get this. Maybe he or she is part of that list or not. But for example, Mr. A is going for attending a SAARC meeting in New Delhi or in Mali or wherever. So he or she is entitled to get SAARC visa exemption scheme. He doesn't have to go to the High Commission or the embassy to get this visa. So I think this is a great achievement. But as you mentioned, we have to be optimistic and we should continue to work. And we hope one day we will have this kind of regime, that facilitation of visa is important for promotion of our regional integration, economic integration, people-to-people contact, tourism. Because without visa, even if we have connectivity and we don't have visa, it will be difficult. But we have this facility, and some countries have visa free, of course. For example, we come to Nepal without visa. SAARC, Nepal has visa on arrival for SAARC member states. So this is a good thing, and I think also in Maldives, perhaps. So these things are improving, and we hope that one day we can reach that stage.
Well, Your Excellency, to what extent do national socio-political situations and diversities pose challenge to the resilient, SAARC or the regional agenda of the development?
Well, you see, SAARC is the Charter of SAARC is drafted in a way that all states have equal say in all matters. For example, Article 10 of the Charter says that all decisions will be taken unanimously. Article 10 also says that bilateral contentious issues will be excluded from discussion at SAARC forum. So therefore, the hurdles or the bilateral issues or whatever cannot stand in the way of SAARC cooperation. So therefore, SAARC has moved on, and it will continue to move on from 1985 onwards, and it is moving steadily on.
But do you think that the SAARC is providing with ample opportunity to SAARC members, for dialogues on having a solution towards such contentious issues?
SAARC institutions like Sark Summits, Sark Council of Ministers, Sark Standing Committee, Sark Programming Committee, Sark Technical Committee, Sark Regional Groups, Technical Committees, and Sark Ministerial Forums, Regional Centers, all these provide ample opportunities for member states to get together, discuss issues, find solutions. And whenever SAARC summits meet, that there are two segments of SAARC summit. One is the substantive session, which is before the public, opening session and the concluding session, and leaders discuss substantive issues. But at the same time, leaders get an opportunity to meet in retreat. There they discuss all the issues informally in an informal setting. So there's a wonderful opportunity for the leaders to exchange views on different issues the SAARC is facing and how to move on and forward and take forward the SAARC process. Similarly, Council of Ministers takes policy decisions, and all these platforms provide enough opportunities for SAARC member states to get together, to discuss together and find solutions. And as I said, all decisions are taken unanimously and they are implemented afterwards.
Well, it's already been 1 year that you're serving as the Secretary General and 2 more years to go. Any changes that one can expect during your tenure that could help materialize the agenda of SAARC cooperation?
Well, when I joined SAARC Secretariat as the Secretary of SAARC, the summit which was to be held in November 2016 was postponed. So when I joined here, I thought I should do something, as when it depends on the member states to agree on a date or set of dates for hosting the summit. But in the meantime, I have been trying to move the SAARC process on. I am happy to inform you that in my 1 year, we have had 4 SAARC ministerial meetings. SAARC Health Ministers, SAARC Interior Ministers, SAARC Finance Ministers met on the sidelines of ADB in Yokohama. SAARC Foreign Ministers met on the sidelines of UN General Assembly in New York. And I am also happy to inform you, it was my proposal made during SAARC Health Ministers meeting to establish a SAARC Medical University, and the Foreign Minister of Sri Lanka, he said, Mr. Secretary, you have made a good proposal, and if other ministers agree, we will host it. And this is how the decision was taken. In addition to this, we are having meetings of SAARC immigration officials, and a number of other meetings are taking place. Now, next month in Kathmandu, the SAARC Terrorist Offences Monitoring Desk and SAARC Drugs Offences Monitoring Desk is going to meet, I think, on 9th or 10th of April in Kathmandu. And one important thing which you are also dealing with partially, they will also discuss establishment of SAARC Cyber Crimes Monitoring Desk, and most of the police chiefs and concerned senior officials from security agencies, they will come to Kathmandu and meet. So what I'm trying to say is that SAARC process, as this general impression is stalled, I don't think so it's stalled. It's moving on. Every month or every second month, substantive activities are being organized by SAARC Disaster Management Center in Gujarat, in India. Every second month. Similarly, a number of training programs are being organized by our other SAARC regional centers. SAARC University is going on It invites students from all 8 member states, and most of them are on scholarships. It's a wonderful facility. You know whether you have been there or not. The new campus is coming up. So SAARC process going on and it's moving on, and I'm trying my best to provide best possible services with my very able team of directors. I have 8 directors, 1 from each member state, and 12 regional staff. The rest are local staff from Nepal. So I have a wonderful team. So we work like a family to the service, the best possible services to the member states and to our peoples.
Well, there are many issues to discuss, but we are coming to the end of the show. Could you tell us, Your Excellency, what are your suggestions to SAARC governments in maintaining the pathway towards more dynamic integration process very quickly?
Well, in my personal view, the most dynamic way of integration is connectivity. This is the bottom line. If you can have these 4 agreements, or SAARC motor vehicles agreement, SAARC visa railways agreement, SAARC air services agreement, and SAARC ferries becoming operational. Besides, facilitation of visa is important. I think these are the key ingredients for regional integration, for economic integration. Without connectivity, it is very difficult. How our people can move is very difficult. Now, if I have to travel to Islamabad, as I said, 1 hour for 45 minutes. Kathmandu, Islamabad. It takes me 1 night. It's a night where I don't feel like going. So that is my view, that without connectivity, it is very difficult to have meaningful or effective regional cooperation.
Well, Your Excellency, it was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Dear audience, time now to wrap up this show. Keep watching us. See you next week. Namaste.